Hey everybody, welcome back. I know it's been a while since we've done some videos. A lot of people asking what's going on. We're just so busy. We're starting to get caught up, getting everybody's orders out the door, and getting geared up for the big push for June, July, and August, in preparation for everybody's fall planting. But today I want to talk about spring planting and actually go out to one of our parcels that we work on and show you what we're doing. The way the food plot lays out, it's real irregular, and I really like that. I'm getting into more edge in our food plots, leaving cover between, instead of having one great big food plot, we really put a lot of trees. And this particular part right here, the food plot, it's about just under an acre. And this is where Brandon from First Choice Food Plots came out last year with his forestry mulcher, and we carved this out. We need to put more food on this particular parcel. So one of the things, and I talked about this on a podcast in a different video possibly, and I'm actually seeing it right now. Mark Drury talked about counting some rings on trees, some study or something. Long story short, a potential drought this year. Now, the last 4 years, we've had a drought in the fall. We don't get a lot of rain here in the fall. It's just the pattern we're in. But here's the thing. It's been really wet across the Midwest, but not here. We have been extremely dry. Our backyard is starting to dry up already. I was watching my son cut the lawn the other day, and it was a cloud of dust. It's really dry here in Upper Michigan already. And so one of the things I decided to do with this particular brand new food plot is we're going to convert it to a perennial. It's a little bit lower ground, so it's going to hold some moisture. It is sand. It's a new plot, and I might be pushing it. But we're going to turn this into Seclusion 360. So I don't have to worry about whether we have water here, rain or whatever. We're going to have a really nice perennial Seclusion 360. I've been at Jake Ehlinger's farm, and he has converted a lot of his food plots to the Seclusion 360 blend. So we're going to kind of walk you through that process and then take you kind of around this food plot and show you what we're expecting this year, what we did last year, and I'll really show you how we like to break these food plots up with a lot of edge. And it just creates, to me, a lot more daytime movement, having these broken up food plots rather than one great big food plot. So let's head up north about 15 minutes, and we'll see you out on the food. We're out here today, and if you notice, I'm wearing a Carhartt jacket for you folks in the deep south. That's a brand up here in the upper third of the country that's really warm. But anyway, I'm wearing Carhartt today and trying to spray Roundup. This is the first warm day we've had that I was able to get out of the shop. We're so full of orders. Just really busy with work, but we got to get our food plots done, our spring food plots. So what we're doing today, you can see I got the spray rig on our four-wheeler. You can see I've done spraying already. The sun's trying to pop out. We might have rain this afternoon. I just got a real small window. It is cold. I'm kind of worried about the catch I'm going to get with this Roundup. So we went really hot, maybe 3 quarts an acre. Yeah, it's probably too much, but I've got really rough conditions to spray Roundup today. I think it's about 55 degrees air temperature, and we finally get the sun popping out. But what we have is we've got Roundup, a little bit of crop oil, and we've got that full spectrum burn down product. Now that's where we mulched last year, and I'll take the camera and walk back there, okay? But we mulched in there last year. We're spraying Roundup to kill the cereal rye. All that's coming back right now is cereal rye. Last year that was fall forage. A year ago from this moment, a year ago in 2024, that looked like, I don't know if you can really see behind me, all that thick autumn olive, balsams, short buckthorn. Brandon with First Choice Food Plots came in, did a phenomenal job. And then I also want to kind of walk through there and highlight how we're redesigning all our food plots on these lands and the lands we're working on. But we're getting rid of cereal rye. It was all wood mulch last year. We did fall forage with a heavy layer of cereal rye. But one of the reasons I really like cereal rye, and the camera right now, the tripod is in brassica field from last year. I'll turn around and you can see that as well. But folks, this is why I love cereal rye. It's been a cold spring here in the Midwest, especially here in Michigan. But you look at how green that rye is right now, okay? Doesn't need a lot of heat, doesn't need a lot of sunlight, okay? And we're just starting to get the fawns dropping this week. We're starting to see the first fawns. A lot of our customers are showing us pictures of fawns dropping. Those does are desperate for protein, and there's 13 to 15% protein in the cereal rye. It's green, and I would imagine right now all our food plots that have rye in it. Every single one of our food plots has some sort of cereal rye in it right now for this purpose right now. This time of the year right now is why we have cereal rye. But we're killing it, and tomorrow we're going to come in. We're supposed to get rain this coming week. It's a little bit cold for my liking on planting. I didn't frost seed. We're going to wait and do. We did some frost seeding. If you look way down by that big birch tree, right around the corner, that's where we did our frost seeding video a couple of weeks ago. So we didn't go spray that. We're going to go check on that and see how that's doing. But we're killing the cereal rye. We're going to come in. We're going to put seclusion down in here. We're going to roll it in with a lawn roller. I really like the lawn roller, how you get good seed to soil contact. You get 100% contact all the time. We're going to roll it in with a lawn roller. And then because we're short on time, I'm going to probably take that new pH drill we've got, the 5, and we're going to drill some we're going to drill some oats. And I think we're going to drill some peas. We broke a bag a couple of weeks ago, and I saved it for this particular spot here. So I believe it's going to be peas and oats. Now, I'm running very behind right now. If we were going to try to do a spring planting of seclusion in there with a nurse crop, 2 options, okay? And I'm out of time, so I can't do it. Okay, 2 options. You could have lightly tilled this, sprayed this rye, and lightly disked it up just to break that surface up. Get your maybe some oats, maybe some peas. You could probably use buckwheat, cereal rye, something for a nurse crop. I'm not a big fan of hairy vetch for deer food. They don't eat it very well. I like that as a soil builder. We're going to be planting some of that next week, and we'll walk through that as well. But something that's going to help those deer in the month of June and July. You know, one of those that I listed. If you're not planting clover, like we're going to try to establish a seclusion plot, so I'm really not looking at dropping any annual clovers. I don't want the annual clovers taking nutrients from those perennial clovers and the perennial chicory. So we're going to do oats and peas because that's what I've got lying around. Now, like I said, you could work up the ground a little bit. I know the no-till guys are freaking out right now, losing their minds, saying there's John talking about digging up ground again. Just relax, okay? All I'm trying to do is get that seed buried. Peas like to be buried. Oats like to be buried. If I've got some soybeans, you did one of those, wild turkey free bags of soybean seed. Those like to be buried. Folks, I'm telling you, we did a video last week. I don't even know if we posted it. Maybe we'll post it here, where we overseeded cereal rye in a big thunderstorm, and it never took because it was on top of sandy ground. But the seed right next to it that got buried into furrows from our drag when we tried the thatcher, that's all growing beautiful because that seed was in the ground. I'm going to talk about that. I know people hate me talking about it, but you know what, folks? I'm looking for success. I'm not looking for the latest no-till fad. So let's take a look. We're in this brassica food plot right now, and there's some things I want to cover about that. So last year, this was our Sweet Feast brassica blend. You can see a little bit of the yellow flowers coming back. They pretty much had this picked clean. Okay, but here again, this is why I like cereal rye. It's a good weed suppressor. You know, you don't see a lot of weeds in here. There's a little bit here and there, not much. Now, if you see, we've got some moss. We've been getting a lot of questions about this moss. We were at Jake's on the property tour with Brad Harper. We were also at Elliott's on the property tour, and he's talking about 3-cal and liquid lime to help take care of that and break that soil up, okay? But what's the plans in this brassica plot? Now, we're going to come in, same thing. We're going to terminate this rye. I don't have time right now. We're just running short on time because of how busy we are and just life got in the way. We're going to run Milo in here. Now you can see that's our 906 blind. Right there, one of the hunters sits there. And we're going to hide that with HD screen. We're going to wrap that around, and they park over here. We're going to hide that with HD screen. But now what we're doing, we're going to probably run Milo to this edge here, okay? We want to continue this edge all the way down, and that way you've got food plot over there. That's all hidden. There's all bedding back in here. But this is going to be Milo running north and south on probably 15-inch row centers. I might go 20 where they can see. Now there's a berm there, and there's a berm here. But they can see right here, so we might open this up to, whatever 7.5 times 3 is, what is that, 22.5? So they might get wider row centers here just so they can see down it. And then of course we're going to do sugar beets and winter peas with it. We might add some soybeans if I've got some laying around. But we're going to put the milo here this year. And then we're going to put seclusion there. Just breaking it up, getting a lot of multiple offerings. Now, one of the things we always talk about our 3-strip system. This is why I really like this 3-strip system. Check this out. Okay, now we're coming into last year. We were brassicas here. This was the dividing line right here. Look at all that cereal rye coming back. They have not been able to keep up with it. There's this food plot has just been flooded with cereal rye, so they can't keep up with it. But here's the beautiful thing. Look at all that red clover that we seeded last year. That's all coming back. That's all deer food. We're going to come in here with some 3-cal. And you know, it's kind of thin and we've got rain coming. So I might overseed this whole area with more red clover. Maybe even crimson because I need it to grow fast. 1 for deer food and 2, this is nitrogen that's going to be oh, I said the T word. We're going to till this whole red clover patch under. And now brassicas are going to go here this year, okay? And we will overseed them with cereal rye again. But last year brassica, this year it's going to be milo, rye, winter peas, sugar beets. Last year was last year was fall forage, rye, red clover. This year it's going to be brassicas. So we're going to flip-flop this. But we're going to do heavy cereal rye in here as well. Once we get into August, there's a berm right there. And there's a big ditch on this side of the berm. I've got access to water if we need to. But just wanted to talk about today what we're doing with spring planting. We'll probably bring the camera. Today is Sunday. We'll probably bring the camera up here tomorrow morning, show you how we're planting the seclusion, what we're doing. And can't wait to see what comes in here. We had some beautiful deer in here last year for Upper Michigan. Man, look at that red clover just take right off. This is exactly why we want this in here. That's probably 18 to 20% protein in there. And we planted that last fall. It did create a little bit of food source, but now is when it's really taken off and there's deer in here every day eating on this clover. I can see it's all worked up in here. Deer tracks, deer trails back in here to the northwest. A lot of good food in here for this time. All right, we're back the next day. Beautiful day today here. It's Memorial Day, 66 degrees up here. Sun shining, not a cloud in the sky. We're gonna finally get some heat into our soils up here. We're way behind. Not only on planting, but soil temperature. But what we're going to do now, as you can see, the ATV track sprayer, we've got this rye all sprayed. What we're going to do is come in and seed the Seclusion 360. We're actually adding one more seed. We're trying a new additive to the seed. We're going to use the Harper Growing Solutions Full Spectrum Products seed treatment we talked about on our last video to get that on the seed. We're going to broadcast this with the Seclusion mix. And then we're going to take a lawn roller and roll it, we're going to pack it in with a lawn roller. Now, I really like a lawn roller for these little tiny seeds because you get 100% contact. If I had because we didn't work this ground up, if I had a cultipacker in here, a lot of that cultipacker is going to ride up high and never touch those little seeds. So we got a lawn roller we brought with us today. So we're going to broadcast and we're going to roll this in and either if it looks like we're gonna get a bunch of rain, I might just broadcast some rye and buckwheat just as a nurse crop and a spring food. If not, we're gonna use our drill, and I know most of you folks don't have a drill, and I'm just behind on time. This should have been done 2 weeks ago when we had all that rain. But I might drill peas and oats or something just for a spring food and a cover crop for those seclusion seeds. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna broadcast. I have the Earthway bag seeder. We're going to put the setting at 1. I'm not going to be able to see the seed. And a lot of you folks that have not seen our videos before, when I do this and you've got the setting on 1 for the switchgrass, for these little clover seeds and chicory seeds, for brassicas, you really can't see the seed coming out. Now I've got dark seed coming out against a dark background. And a lot of times what folks do is they keep opening this gate, all right, until they can see the seed. Well, by that time, it's way too late. You've got too much seed coming out. So what I'll do is as I'm walking, okay, here, this is the gate controller right here. I've got some fingers down here. As long as I can feel seed bouncing off my fingers, I know the seed's coming out. Now, how I walk and the way I rotate the handle, I get about a 6-foot pattern with this Earthway bag seeder. But like I said, you can't keep opening this gate until you see seed coming out, because by that time you've got way too much coming out. We're looking at about 6 to 7 pounds an acre, If I'm opening the seed to where it's 2 or 3, it's gushing out. I'm putting out 14, 15 pounds an acre. So as you're walking, and this is just how I do it, there might be better ways out there, but this is what I tell folks that buy seed from us, watch our videos, come talk to me. Just have 1 or 2 fingers down here. You'll feel that seed bouncing off your fingers. You know the seed's coming out, okay? Just like I say before, trust the process. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have the setting at 1, maybe 1.5 until I think it's about right. But what I'd rather have you do, folks, is keep the setting lower and do multiple passes than try to get it all at one time. So what we're gonna do is probably put it at 1, and we're gonna walk this way, and then we're gonna come back and walk this way until all that seed's gone. We're just gonna keep making, maybe we'll go diagonal. I know this is about 2/3 of an acre, so we need 5 pounds of seed, and that's what I've got weighed out. And then if you look to the east on this food plot, we're looking north right now, okay? If you look to the east, we get into a little bit darker coloring. That's more swamp, wetter ground. So probably from this, I don't know if you can see it in the video, this right along this edge to the east, we're gonna put wet ground clover this year. Okay, we're gonna put seclusion in the main plot and all the entry points. And then because I can just see a darker color vegetation, we did spray it. We're gonna put wet ground clover down there just because I know if we start to get a lot of rain, that's gonna have a tendency to be really heavy muck soil. So that's our strategy today. Let's not overseed. Let's get this done before the rain, and then we're gonna roll the seed in. All right, we got our seed in the bag seeder, and we're using the Full Spectrum products, brand new product, the seed treatment. Now, this is a bigger bottle. We're only selling the 2-ounce bottles right now, but usually what we'll do is put it in a 1 gallon or 2 gallon bucket, spray it, mix it up, spray a little bit more. You don't want it all clumped together. That's not what we want. But we're gonna spray it in the bag, just shake it around. Just another addition to help these seeds get off to a good start. So we got our fingers down here. I can catch it and see the seed coming out, but I can also feel it. Now, one of the things also you got to pay attention to is we've got a strong south wind, so everything's going to get carried that way. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. So when we start going east and west, we want to just keep walking this way because it's going to take our seed and blow it away from us. So you got to kind of keep that in mind when you're seeding. If you've got a pretty good wind, and we've got a strong south wind, it's blowing from the camera to me. So kind of keep that in mind too as you're spreading these little seeds. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, the last step, we've got our seclusion done. It's on the ground. We're gonna take this lawn roller. Now this thing's seen a lot of acres. It's 12 to 13 years old. I got this from Tractor Supply a long time ago. It's 4 foot wide, does a really nice job. But the thing I like about this lawn roller is that it gets 100% contact 100% of the time. I like that with these little seeds, okay? We really want a nice, even, consistent contact patch, and that only comes with a lawn roller. Now what we're gonna do is roll this all down the best we can. The rye is gonna pop back up. It's still green and stringy yet, so it's gonna be about a week before this rye turns brown. But that's what we're gonna do today. That's gonna finish up the seclusion. We're really hoping for rain. It's starting to get warm here in the UP finally. We're gonna get some good soil temperatures, but we've got our clovers in. Hopefully, we're gonna take you through all our spring planting this year. We're getting ready to do the HD screen. We're gonna go out and do milo. We've got some more cover crops we're putting in with some perennials. We got a really cool perennial we're trying for sandy soil. We're gonna walk through that as well. A lot of instructional videos coming up because right now a lot of people are getting their food plots in. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. In a couple of days we'll have that HD food plot screen video.